Hi, this is Stuart Powell with Cookshack. Congratulations on the purchase of your new PG1000i. In this video, we're going to show you how to put the unit together. It's easiest to do this with two people, so I've asked Scott Gurney, our Director of Technical Services here at Cookshack, to give me a hand. We're going to start by unboxing the unit. All right, we simply cut through the banding. After we cut the bands, we're now going to take the top box apart. And then we're going to take the side panels off. We now take off the corner brackets, and you'll note that we have some hardware and parts here, so we're going to set those aside. And now we have the body of the unit. Next step is to remove the parts from inside the grill. We'll start with the grease tray and then the grills. We're going to go ahead and take the caster box out, and now we're going to pick the unit up and set it aside. Now we're going to unbox the rest of the things and get to the base tray. We'll start by removing the grates that we set down earlier, and then our grease deflector. We have our top grills. And this box has all of our hardware in it. And then we're going to take the lid and the shoulder and move those. We're going to remove all of our boxing parts. And this then is the bottom tray that we're going to install. Next step is to turn the smoker on its back. And we're going to now put the base tray in and our casters. Your grill comes with laser paper on it to protect it during shipping. We're now going to remove that paper so that we can then screw the base into the unit. Now that we have all the plastic peeled, we'll now mount the bottom tray into the unit. You'll find the hardware in the hardware box that we pointed out. It says bottom shelf self-tapping screws. You will need either a 3/8 inch nut driver or a screw gun with a 3/8 inch adapter in it to put these in. We recommend the screw gun as they are self-tapping screws. We'll now place the bottom tray in place. There are 16 screws that hold the bottom tray in place. You will see that there are pilot holes drilled into the sheet metal to start the screw. We simply then take our self-tapping screw and run it into place. We'll then repeat this step for all 16 of the screws. So we have 4 casters. All 4 are locking casters, and they just screw into the grill. We want to lock the back casters to help us in setting the unit up. We're now going to set the unit upright. We're now ready to install the hood. Next step is to set our shoulder for our hood in place. Be careful of the temperature probe so we don't cut that wire. We need to pull out a couple of other hardware pieces now, the screws for the shoulder and the pivot hinges for the lid. We have 7 screws that hold the hood in place. These are self-tapping also. And it's just simply putting them in. We'll now take the temperature probe and attach it to the bracket. Our next step is to put the lid onto the shoulder. This just sets in place, and then we will install the hinges. To do this step, you will need an extra set of hands. We finished the hinge installation by putting the 3 screws in each hinge. Now we're going to install the shelf bracket with 3 self-tapping screws also right into the unit. Our next step is to install the handle onto the lid. We'll start with the 2 brackets. We put 1 bracket on, and then we'll put the handle in place. To get started though, we have to remove the laser paper from the hood. We put 1 bracket on, and then we'll put the handle in place. Our next step is to install the side shelf. We start by installing the hinges onto the side shelf. Begin with opening the hinge, and there are 3 screws that hold it in place. So our next step then is to attach the shelf to the side. We leave the shelf brackets out, and they will just go right here. You'll need a second set of hands to be able to complete this step. Our next step is to install the side panel. takes 12 screws to put this panel in. Our next step will be to put the flue on the unit. We first need to start by peeling the laser paper off the back of the unit. The flue goes right here and just has 4 screws that attach it. Our next steps now are to just finish up with the accessorial pieces. First we'll put the drip trough in. It sets on 2 screws, goes through the hole in the bottom of the oven. Then we'll place in the drip tray. From there, we'll put in the flame deflector, and then the drip pan goes just on the side here. Next we'll put the grates in. The larger grate goes over the direct cooking area, and then the 2 smaller grates go on the indirect cooking area. Then we have our top and bottom shelf that go in. All we have left to do now is to remove the rest of the laser paper. Congratulations, your PG1000i is now ready to be cooked on. If you have any questions, give us a call at 1-800-423-0698. Happy cooking!